What's up, guys? Your boys, 20K13. I'm going to give you guys your wrestling news weekend wrap up. Top TNA talent contract expiring soon. The TNA contract of Austin Aries will expire at the end June. As of now, there has been no word regarding TNA re-signing him. Backstage news on why Brock Lesnar is working Japanese live event. As noted, Brock Lesnar is being advertised to face Kofi Kingston in a match during WWE's upcoming tour of Japan. Lesnar will be working the July 4th Sumo Hall event, and it will mark the first time Lesnar has wrestled during a non-televised event in WWE since 2004. Dave Meltzer posted on the F4WOnline.com message board that Lesnar wants to go to Japan to visit Masa Sato, a retired Japanese wrestler. And I quote, Lesnar and Brad Rheingans wanted to go to Japan to see Masa Sato, Meltzer wrote. Just figured since he was going anyway, make it tax deductible, get his trans paid, and work one show. Samoa Joe revealed how he landed a job with WWE. Samoa Joe was asked during an interview with WWE.com on what led to him coming to the WWE. Joe responded with the following, and I quote, I had a great career up to this point. I pretty much wrestled everywhere in the world. The one place that eluded me was WWE. I had put out feelers to a few friends and confidants in WWE. They did some probing on my behalf. Slowly but surely a small glimmer of hope opened up. Talk progresses and the opportunity presented itself. Joe was also asked about what it felt to be under the WWE umbrella and a part of NXT, in which he responded, I'm over the moon. It's something I never really thought I would have the opportunity to do. To be here now, it's an unreal feeling. Shelton Benjamin turned down offers from TNA Wrestling. Former WWE superstar Shelton Benjamin took to his Twitter account to mention that he recently had negotiations with TNA Wrestling, and I quote, Many have asked, will I ever go to Impact Wrestling? Very recently concluded a dialogue with the company, and while both parties are eager to do business, we were unable to reach a mutually satisfactory agreement. This is very regretful with all the possibilities that were possible, Shelton said. Since leaving WWE, Benjamin has had a run in Ring of Honor, appeared for NOAH, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and is also part of Global Force Wrestling. Backstage news and update on TNA signing Bram to a new contract. Yesterday, TNA has announced that they re-signed Bram to a multi-year deal. This confused many fans because TNA made the same announcement back in March. The company negotiated a new 2-year deal with Bram, which replaces the old one. Original plan for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn on the main roster, plus Finn Balor's note. Brian Alvarez mentioned on Friday's episode of the Wrestling Observer Live that the original plan was for WWE to call up Sami Zayn to the main roster following his match with Kevin Owens at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. However, with him injuring his shoulder prior to that event and involved match with John Cena, WWE made the decision to keep Zayn down in NXT and instead to call up Owens to the main roster. As noted, Owens had been added to several upcoming Raw TV tapings and had signed a main roster contract with WWE. Also, Alvarez mentioned that there are some big plans in the works for Finn Balor to be called up to the main roster, but would not go into further detail on those exact plans. NXT Women's Champion returned to action on Friday night. Following her match with Becky Lynch at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable, NXT Women's Champion Sasha Banks has not worked any live event or the TV taping held almost 2 weeks ago since the event. However, she made her return at last night's NXT live event from Citrus Springs, Florida at the Citrus Springs. She competed in a 6-women tag team match where she lost to Charlotte, Carmella, and Devin Taylor. Also, Una Nation appeared at that event to cut a promo about making it to NXT. Early reviews for The Rock San Andreas offer a mixed bag of criticism. San Andreas, The Rock's latest big-budget disaster film, is drawing a ton of mixed reaction from the critical press prior to its public release this Friday. Michael Phillips of the Chicago Tribune praised the action thriller for the sincerity of several of its characters, including British actor Hugo John Thornburg and Art Parkinson for their bizarrely effective comic relief. A.O. Scott of the New York Times called the film special effects dull and routine, but clarified that the problem comes more from a genre filled with massive CGI effects. On the other hand, the Boston Globe Tom Russo put over San Andreas' action scene and destruction montage, singling out the computer-generated devastation of Los Angeles and San Francisco. The film currently sits at a pre-release score of 6.5 on IMDb and 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, which means a little more than half the critics enjoy the film. It holds a 41 Metascore with 9 positive reviews, 14 mixed reviews, and 12 negative reviews, but those numbers could all change drastically when the movie hits theaters. San Andreas should easily top the box office this week, as its only first-run competition comes in the form of Bradley Cooper and Emma Stone's romantic comedy Aloha. The film is projected to do an estimated $40 million plus this weekend, more than last weekend's major releases, including George Clooney's Tomorrowland, Pitch Perfect 2, and Mad Max Fury Road. Raw guest host announced. WWE has announced that Machine Gun Kelly will be returning to the WWE. He will be hosting the June 15th edition of Monday Night Raw. This Raw will be from the Quicken Loan Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. He performed at WrestleMania 28 in Florida. The Rock crushing Hollywood. And this comes from Variety.com. This is the sources of Variety. The Rock new movie, San Andreas, grossed $18.2 million on Friday. This was the opening night of the film. Variety is estimating that the film will make $47 million, which would be the biggest opening for The Rock, not including the Fast and Furious franchise. Early estimates had the movie at about $40 million for the opening. Kurt Angle says he's been hurting a lot lately after matches. Huffington Post's Royal Rambling blog recently asked Kurt Angle during an interview about how his body is holding up physically in which the TNA World Heavyweight Champion revealed that he'd been hurting a lot lately after his matches. And I quote, "I'm fine. I adapted. It's a tough schedule. Even though I have been reduced to a certain amount of days a year, it's hard. When you a World Heavyweight Champion, you in demand to wrestle almost every single week on TV. And the way that we structure our TV right now, there's a possibility of Kurt Angle wrestling 8 main event matches in 4 days. That's hard on the body, especially at my age and at this point in my career. I believe at the last set of TV, I did 7 matches in 4 days, and I was hurting for a few days. I think anybody would. However, I do have the ability to have 5 or 6 weeks off when I don't have to wrestle. So there's a give and take, but I rather enjoy it. The challenges of wrestling guys like Eric Young to Bobby Roode to Austin Aries, Spud, Bobby Lashley, it's been very challenging, but I had a lot of fun." Vince Russo react to TNA and Destination America rumors. Vince Russo posted the following statement today on his Facebook page in regard to the TNA and Destination America rumor and dirt sheet, providing the facts on the situation. And I quote, "Today, the same dirt sheet who broke the story about the imminent cancellation of TNA on Destination America filed the following report concerning a conference call that Dixie Carter held with the talent." And I quote, "The wrestlers at the meeting were not happy because they felt overall Carter was being evasive. And also, it was hard to buy the idea that she would present that adding always to Destination America was to their benefit. The key to the talent question and answer period is that talent complained that they wanted better lines of communication. Here's lies the issue, folks, unless you were actually on that call yourself. This is secondhand reporting coming from a source, a mole, who were presumably on the call, and then in turn reporting the result to the said dirt sheet, speaking for all the wrestlers at the meeting. The information did not come directly from the call to reporters. There was a middleman who was perhaps dissatisfied with the call himself, was maybe even a bit disgruntled. This putting her spin on the phone conversation the way they saw it, and speaking for all the wrestlers on the call. The overall feeling of the wrestlers are being stated as facts, when the only fact is that the person who gave that information gave it from their perspective, which is simply that, their perspective. Again, when looking at stories such as this, you just really have to be careful in determining truth from perspective, opinion. No two people view anything the same. Everybody always has and presents their own take or spin. My point, take what you read with a grain of salt. Don't fall into the trap of allowing reporters to make you believe what they want you to believe. Scott Hall put out a weekend event. Scott Hall, who recently had a slip in his recovery, noted on Twitter that he would not be making any scheduled appearances this weekend. New Kevin Owens WWE design. WWE Shop currently has 4 different designs for NXT champion Kevin Owens, 2 Fights Owens fights, and 2 KO designs. A available for purchase on their website. And just as a reminder, the entire collection of Kevin Steen shirts is still available at ProWrestlingTees.com. Brock Lesnar Japan event sells out. According to the Wrestling Observer, the July 4th WWE Live event at Sumo Hall in Tokyo, Japan, featuring an appearance by Brock Lesnar, is now sold out. Lesnar is currently being advertised to face Kofi Kingston at the event. Update on Rusev status for WWE Elimination Chamber. WWE reportedly has big main roster plans for current NXT standout. WWE on this week's edition of Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez mentioned that WWE currently has major main roster plans in place for NXT standout Finn Balor. Alvarez added he doesn't know when the main roster promotion will happen, or exactly what WWE has in store for Balor, but they do have big plans for him on the main roster. PWInsider.com is reporting that as of now, Rusev is expected to appear at WWE Elimination Chamber tonight, even if he doesn't compete in the IC title chamber match. As noted, Rusev is currently being evaluated by WWE for a lower leg injury, and if he doesn't wrestle tonight at the pay-per-view, his likely replacement will be Bray Wyatt. Well, that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys on the next one. Peace.